How do you learn MQL5 now? Well, in general, it works like a foreign language. When we take an Italian course, we first learn a few basic things like saying I and you or the day or the time. That's the basic information you need to be able to communicate. In MQL5 there are expressions and functions that work similar. For example, one such function would be the function to output the local time. It is also called local time, and such functions are relatively easy to understand and use. For the query of certain conditions we use if. If stands for the term if something is true, and behind it we write in brackets what should happen. An example could be if the local time is between 8 and 9 o'clock, then prepare to trade. Another example would be if the price of the euro/US dollar is above 1.10, then open a buy position. And as with a foreign language, you can of course take appropriate notes. This happens in so-called comment lines. The text in a comment line is completely unimportant for the computer, only to make clear for us humans what we want to cause in this one. Unfortunately, many programmers forget that it is relatively difficult to understand what you wanted to do after a few days or weeks if you do not use these comment lines. But if you do this regularly, it is relatively easy even for a beginner to understand what is happening where in the program. Just as we learn in the Italian course to form simple sentences first, it is also recommended to refrain from large nested sentence constructs in MQL5. Of course, you can save one or the other program line of coding, but this is at the expense of comprehensibility, because at some point you have to look for errors or problems, and if you have ever tried to do this in a program code that has no comment lines, you know how exhausting it can be to understand the logic of another person and to find the corresponding errors. After we have learned the basic things in MQL5, there are of course always new functions that you can use, but you do not necessarily have to do that. Many things are relatively easy to do, for other things there is help, for example the built-in MQL5 reference, which is available for free together with MQL5 and MetaTrader 5. Once you understand the basics and know how a function looks like and how to use the reference, it is always possible to improve your code a bit at a time. I always try to build small parts that can be used later in the final construct. If you are wondering if programming with MQL5 has an age limit, I can tell you that our oldest student just turned 91 years old. He did the course 2 years ago and still writes now and then to clarify some things. So if you are looking for a MQL5 course where you can get help and where the email support is actually done by the person who created the course, then the MQL5 premium course we offer might be the right solution for you. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.